Hey guys, I hope you are all doing well in these difficult days. As you know, the best way to fight against the coronavirus is to isolate ourselves. But in the meantime, we should also be careful with our psychology and mental health. I believe one good way to keep our mental health safe is to focus on other things. So I've decided to make a new video about React this week, and I think we all feel ourselves better after watching it, at least I hope. Anyways, so in today's video, we are going to talk about type checking in React with PropTypes, and I will also mention about DefaultProps. If you are ready, let's get started. Alright, so React has a feature called props for passing data between components. I uploaded a video about props a couple of months ago. If you don't know how to use it, I recommend to first check it out and then come back here. Type checking is important in programming, and we can use TypeScript in React, for example. However, TypeScript is not helpful for props, because with TypeScript, we can define a variable like constant name and then assign its type as string, but TypeScript is for variable declarations and it's not useful for props. With props, a component receives data from outside. This data may also come from an external API, so that's why we need something else than TypeScript. Now in React, there is a way to check the type of data at runtime, which is coming with props, is called PropTypes. Now let's go to the website of React official documents. Here you can find the complete documentation of PropTypes. If you need additional information, you can visit this website after watching the video. Now, as here mentions, we can't just directly use PropTypes in our project. React has moved it into another different package, so we need to download it first. Now let's head to the npm website of PropTypes, and this is the web page explaining the instructions for downloading PropTypes. You can find the links in the description part of this video. So let's copy this command for npm installation, and let's head back to our terminal, and here now I am saving it. And the installation has started for PropTypes. Okay, now the installation is completed and now we can start using PropTypes in our project. We have a person component here that takes two properties as name and age. So here we're gonna pass our prop values, name, Bob, age, 30. Let's see, Bob and 30. Now if I change this age prop with a string John, then we're gonna see another name in the age field. This is something we don't want, so we will prevent this now with PropTypes. To do that, firstly I need to import PropTypes from our npm package. Then we need to define which component we are going to use PropTypes. That will be the person component. And now we should have access to the PropTypes. That should be small. Okay, and the assignment will be an object. So this is our definition of PropTypes for a component. Now inside this object, we need to define the prop values, name and age. Name, and this should be a string. So PropTypes dot. Now here we can see all kinds of data types available in PropTypes, and I am going to choose string. And next, we do the same for the age property, PropTypes dot, and this should be a number. Okay, so we have defined our PropTypes values. Now, if I look back to my local host, I see that there is an error here because the age should be a number. However, there is a string here. So I am going to change this back to a number. And as we can see, now the error is gone. So this is how we can create our secure types and also catch errors with PropTypes. It's very useful in React. We can also pass objects with props. Now, what if we pass an object as a property? Let's define an object here, person, for example, and let's take these props and pass it inside the object. Okay, and instead of these props, now I need to give an object prop. Okay. We can't see because I also need to call the object first, person.name, and person.h. Okay, now we can see the values of the object. And finally, I need to replace these prop types for the person object, person, and we select the object value of the prop types. Now let's see, everything looks fine. And now when I pass a number here, this should give an error. Okay, now as we can see, the prop types works perfect, but there is a little problem here. By selecting the object value of the prop types, we are not able also to check inside of the object. When I change this back to a string, we will see that it works without any problem. But this is something we don't want. So using the object value for the prop types is not good. Fortunately, PropTypes supports another property called shape. And with the shape property, this is also being used for the objects, and we are also able to check the types of the values within an object. So for example, we also need to pass an object inside, and like we did before, I'm going to define the name as a string and for the age a number. Okay, now when I go back to my local, we can see that since there is a string instead of a number for the age, we receive the error. So let me change this back to a number and that should be fine. Okay, now the error is gone. So by using the shape property, within the shape property, we can pass an object and then we can also check the values inside of the object and catch the errors. That's why it is strongly recommended to use the shape value for objects instead of the object property of the prop types. Let's continue with another feature of prop types. Sometimes a component may receive a property that has to be defined or has to be given. We can define a required flag for each property with the isRequired value. For example, let's make the name prop here a required property. So that means it should always be given. We can do it with the isRequired value. So now the name prop is a required field. For example, when I delete the age prop here, it works fine. However, if I delete the name prop, we receive an error because the name has to be defined. Before closing, I would like to show one more feature, which is the default props. We can define a default property object, which means that when a property is undefined, like we did just right now, then the default property takes place. Let's see how it works. So I define here for the person component again, a default props. It's very similar to the prop types definition. It also has been assigned to an object. So here I define the name prop defaultly as unknown. So this time, when the person component doesn't receive a name prop, instead of receiving an error, we see the unknown text because it has been defined as a default prop. So that's basically what we can do with default props. If you want to learn more about web development, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I wish you guys all good luck in these difficult days. Take care and thank you for watching.